All right, are you guys ready? It's a Friday night if you're on the East Coast. It's a Friday evening if you're on the West Coast, somewhere in the middle and central. If you're international, welcome. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm excited to have you on and be hanging out here on the Josh Macuga Show. We're going to start doing these a lot more often. I finally have a new computer, so I'm feeling really good about it. My guest tonight, I didn't know him when I went to Kinda Funny for the first time. The only person I knew was Nick Scarpino. And thank goodness for Nick Scarpino for introducing me to some of the greatest people on the planet. And one of those people is here with me tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got a hell of a sneaker collection, the most bomber jackets of any human being on the planet. It's Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. How are you doing, Josh?
It's great to see you, man. I miss people, and you guys in particular, really.
Dude, I mean, you're kind of funny family. Like, it's the weirdest thing where it's like it all started where Nick started kind of branching out on his own. It's a funny story because for anybody that's not familiar with us, we're from Kinda Funny games, and the games part of that is really kind of at the core, the heart of what Kinda Funny is. Sure. And that would fall back on specifically like me and Greg and the team that we've kind of created. Nick, not the biggest gamer. So right. It was like Nick was always the kind of the guy in the group that, like, I mean, good Lord, I love him to death. One of my best friends. But it's like he's the comedy side of it. Like, he is the Kinda Funny. Like, he brings all of that. Yeah. But like the reason that we actually work and are as successful as we are at all has very little to do with him or his knowledge. But with that, he's always had this innate kind of curiosity and drive to like want to be as good as a Greg Miller. And obviously I consider myself somewhere in the middle where it's like I have the video knowledge and production stuff of Nick, sure. Or not quite, or nowhere near Nick, and I'm nowhere near as good of a host as Greg. So I'm just kind of just like the milquetoast right in the middle. But the key thing is Greg's out there, you know, shaking hands, kissing babies, and that's kind of been his whole thing. I've learned that from him over time, but really seeing Nick go down to LA for the first time and hanging out and meeting all you Collider folk was such a giant caterpillar turning into a butterfly moment where it's like, oh my God, like Nick can do this without Greg kind of shepherding him into meeting people and interviewing and stuff. And he met you, Josh, and it became this thing where all of a sudden we got jealous. Like, Greg and I are just like, damn, Nick has another family down there that we don't even know about, like with Ellis and you. And it was just like, what the hell? And I'll never forget going to 3 different malls in one day because Nick was like, I'm about to be on Schmodown and I need to make a I love Macuga shirt. I heart Macuga.
I love it.
And we're trying to get it custom made. And I didn't even know who you were, but I was dead set on making sure that this happened with him. And then I remember him going down, doing the shows with you, falling in love with you. You guys are just brothers from another mother. Yeah. And he got to do this show, the Josh Macuga Show. And I remember watching it, and I remember being jealous because I was like, that's cool as hell. I love that Nick has this other life. This Josh guy is just Nick, but better. Like, what the fuck? So anyways, very happy to be on the show now.
Well, you know, I mean, when I came up to Kinda Funny for the first time, you know, I remember coming in, you know, to your guys, and I didn't know anybody really. All I knew, again, was Nick. And I kind of just, you know, we all became like buddies within 8 hours. I mean, alcohol will do that, but also, you know, the energy on that first podcast of all of us just like giggling and laughing for 2 straight hours. I was like, these are my people. This
totally.
Is, you know, it's you know, there's Northern and Southern California, the versions of like a family that have, you know, have amalgamated into something pretty awesome.
It's cool because, you know, we do meet so many awesome people given the jobs that we have. And right. Like it connects us both to, you know, kind of the community, but also to so many like random people we would never meet that are either peers, celebrities, whatever it is. But it's so rare that you're in a room with someone, all of a sudden you're like, you're one of us. And right. It's like you transcended that immediately, like to the point that, and it's unanimous. Like, I think that's the other key thing is like, it's not like just one of us was like, I really like that guy. It's like, we didn't even need to say it. It was just kind of like, oh my, he is kind of funny. I love this.
Well, I felt the same way about you guys. I was like, all right, I mean, you know, so-and-so's okay. No, like every person, and that is a, you know, item of credit to you and Greg and Nick and for bringing in the right people, right?
Oh yeah, best
Kevin
team.
won't answer an email, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's Kev.
Barrett, amazing guy. Andy, amazing. Joey, the best. Cool Greg, legend. And anytime those live streams are going on, the amount of personalities coming in, it's really a magical situation. That and the fact that like 3 years ago, we didn't even know each other. Now
I know.
One of like my buds.
It's family, man. Like it's such a beautiful thing. I love it. But how are you doing? How is this going for you down? So where are you now?
I'm in LA.
Okay.
I'm at home. We've been very strict with the the masks and the stay at home and trying to quarantine as best we can, social distance, everything. We haven't gone to a restaurant. We've done pickup and takeout and all that kind of stuff, but we really haven't gone to sit down anywhere.
Can you down in LA? Is that even an option?
Yeah, you can outside. You have a lot of restaurants have like created outdoor spaces where valet used to be or something like that. So we've been very strict about that. But for the most part, everybody's happy, everybody's healthy, which is the main thing. There's been a decent amount of tragedy in my life from the beginning of this, which is really sad.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's like this thing is real. It's real.
It is, man.
People that don't think it is, spend a day in people's shoes whose family works as first responders and who work in hospitals and
absolutely
whose parents have died, whose grandparents have died. Like, spend a day
Kevin's
with
grandma.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like it affects people in such a real way. And like, not to take that and turn it into something else, but it's like people don't need to die for this to be a thing that's affecting everyone. It's like the mental health of so many people around us, including ourselves, kind of just deteriorating over time as we're, held in these prisons where it's like you're just not allowed to leave, and like all these things that you were wondering about or hoping to do, or like 2020 was just taken from us. And like, I'm trying to be positive about it, and I feel like I'm in a very lucky position that I have somebody that I love. I'm in a place that I love, and my roommates and everything are awesome. They're family. It's awesome. But there's pros and cons, and I feel like we're only finding the pros because we had to, because things got as dark as they have gotten and are going to continue to get. I don't think we're anywhere near over this.
No. And I don't want this show to be let's get depressed. It's usually my dream scenario. No, but my dream scenario was that during an E3 situation is you guys stay a couple days after and we do you and Greg and Nick in-person interviews live at the Josh Macuga show.
I love it.
And then with everybody in the room, not each one person on the couch at a time, and then everybody heckling from, the outer reaches, the couches and everything. But, listen, this is a solid, situation that I can have you. It's a good second.
It's a substitute. I'll take it.
And at this point, again, I just miss seeing my friends. I miss seeing people. And I know that, listen, as far as the scale goes of where pros and cons are, I was lucky enough to have a TV show in 2020. The problem is that it aired during a pandemic. So it could be way worse. I take my blessings where I get them, and I take the positivity where I can get them. And right now, positively excited to have you here and talk to you, because let's be honest, when I come up to Kinda Funny, it is a maelstrom.
Oh, yeah.
You and I have never really had the chance, just you and I, to have
rare,
just you and I conversation about the whole thing. So I'm very excited about this whole thing.
Totally. Dude, I'm going to keep stealing this from you because I have so much things to say. Like, I love that we're doing this right now on July 24th, because I feel like, to me, that one of the few times that I know I'm going to see you every year is Comic-Con. And I feel like Comic-Con was taken from us. And I feel like this right now is San Diego Comic-Con from LA and San Francisco straight to you via the internet. It's like there's a magic to Comic-Con where it's like it's just us. It's hanging out. It's drinking. I got my drink. You got yours? Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, buddy. Love you, man.
There we go. Let's get it on.
You and your boys came to Mark Ellis's stand-up show last year, which was awesome.
2 years in a row.
Yep. And you guys got to see the mayhem that is kind of me on stage. I don't really have a plan or jokes per se. It's more of just like eat people's nachos and try and make people laugh with actions. which is.
Does anyone not believe that him and Nick are the same people? The amount of nachos I've seen that man eat.
I will say this. So it's about 5 or 6 years ago. It was right before Amanda and I started dating. I did a stand-up show at my uncle's, like the local bar in my dad's hometown, right? Mm-hmm. My uncle's a bartender there. They have like a dance floor space. It's a veterans hall, right? So, you can have weddings there, all that kind of stuff. And that is a popular thing to do in certain parts of Pittsburgh, right? And so the owner reached out to me. He's like, hey, would you come and do stand-up? And I was like, sure. I mean, I can get at least 200 Macugas to show up to a stand-up show. I mean, there's so many. So we packed this place. And my brother, right before the show, he's like, you have any jokes written? I was like, nope, I got nothing. I got a couple bits, but let's work it out. Dude, I stood up there for an hour and a half and there was about half the crowd was my family and half the crowd was just people that I didn't know. And so I have the feeling, like, I know a lot of comics get really stressed out before they go on stage. For me, it's kind of like, if you gave me a stage for 2 hours, I could fill 2 hours.
It's that Greg Miller energy, man. That's right? The magic of him too. That's just what he does. He just has this thing. He'll go on and he'll just go.
But that was the thing. When I met you guys that first Game Over Greggy podcast, I realized, like, these are my people.
Oh,
totally. All three of us, me, you, Greg, and Nick, were able to fill like 2 hours of a podcast.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Totally, man. I absolutely love it.
Were you that guy, or was that brought out of you by guys like Tim and Greg?
By Nick and Greg.
Nick and Greg, sorry.
I mean, it's complicated. I still don't think I am that guy.
You're good.
Like the best thing is, like, I'm still learning, and I said this earlier. Like, Greg and Nick in very different ways, I do see as kind of. I don't want to use the word mentor, but it's true. It is true. I got to stop only giving them shit. I'm gonna give them that. Like, I do see them as kind of. They've seen a lot more shit than I have in my life, and like, I'm getting there. It's kind of weird to like look down. Down's not the right word. Look at guys like our team with Barrett and my brother and Blessing and Andy and all them. And it's kind of like seeing them kind of like look at me, and they'll make statements every once in a while that blow my mind, where I'm like, oh my God, you're talking about me being good at something the way I talk about Nick or Greg being good at something. And I'm like, that is way too much responsibility for me, but I look at it and I do feel like I've learned a lot. Like, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. That's the difference between Greg and Nick and me, is that, 7 to 10 year age difference. I grew up with YouTube. I'm probably being born in 1989. So YouTube in 2005 came out when I was a junior in high school. So I'm probably the first year that, when asked, what do you want to do post college? My answer was, I want to do YouTube. And now that's like such a common thing, but like that, it felt like a pioneering experience going on around me, And so with that, it's like, I never wanted to like necessarily be a host of something like Greg Miller. I never necessarily wanted to make a movie like Nick Scarpino or do stand-up comedy or all this shit. But it's like being around them, and that I kind of showed them my world of YouTube. And that's kind of, I am the foundation, the linchpin between them for what we do. But like, my God, I'm so much more comfortable. I would have never been able to do stand-up comedy, even try it. I've only done it like 3 or 4 times now, but I've done it now because Nick pushed me to and believed in me,
Yeah. So wait, what was the YouTube video or YouTube maybe channel that inspired you, 1? And 2, what was the first foray into the YouTube world for Tim Gettys? I don't know your origin story, and as I've told you multiple times, I'm obsessed with origin stories. So.
Oh man, mine is. I don't want to say it's interesting, but I love it and I love telling it. So y'all motherfuckers about to listen now. No, so here's the thing. It's like, I can't even say like what YouTube channels kind of framed me, because all of them did. Like, I was watching YouTube when channels weren't, I mean, they were a thing, but like, people didn't think, you couldn't really like, I was listening before people were getting paid on YouTube and watching. Like, I was consuming all the way back in the day, and like guys like Philip DeFranco, I can shout out as having changed the industry. And I looked at him as like, oh my God, like, this guy's talking to a camera every day and I'm there listening every day.
Right.
I want to do that. And it was funny because I was with Kevin back then, and he'd be like, Tim, just do it.
You
And
guys
I'd
were
be like,
doing
no. I gotta get it all right. We need a company. We need a logo. We need t-shirts. We need branding. We need nice camera. We need a mic. We need all this stuff. And it was always excuses. It was always like I'll do it once I have all of this. I'll do it eventually, whatever. And I just kept pushing off and pushing off and pushing off. But I was consuming and I was watching and I was studying, honestly. A lot of these guys, Wong Fu Productions, Philip DeFranco, Community Channel,
huge.
like but it's like it's all these guys that were like coming up in 2005 to 2010, and I was just kind of like, this is what I want to do, Yeah. And but also there was always the video game side of it, and really, really condensing the story.
Was video games like the inspiration? Was video games always, you thought like, this is what I should be talking about?
No. Okay. Which is kind of the weird thing. I mean, video games were my passion. Like, I knew I loved them, and I knew reading video game magazines was my favorite thing in the world. Like, more than anything. I loved video games and learning about the new ones and reading other people's opinions on what's coming out and like speculation and all that.
It's like me and Golf Digest.
What's up?
It's like me and Golf Digest.
Totally. And like that was that. Like being at E3 was like the dream. That was the ultimate heaven goal of like, if I get to see it, if I even be outside, I don't even need to go in, just seeing it, my life will be complete. And there was a contest that I ended up winning to go to an E3 in 2010.
Nice.
And doing that.
What was the contest?
It was a PlayStation had a contest, and like, long story short, I had to make a video to get in. I ended up winning, got in. And I got to go to E3. And when I was there, I was with my boy Alfredo, and we were like, we have to make the most of this. I was like, we were there for 3 days, got to go to the PlayStation conference, got to do all this stuff. And I was like, I need to make sure that this isn't just fun. Like, I don't ever want this to end. I want to go to every E3 after this. And so it's
awesome.
Being a dumb kid, I was a dumbass kid. At this point, I was probably 20. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. But I was like, I know IGN is in San Francisco, so I need to find IGN. So I found the booth, and I literally just kind of like looked at people and was like, hey, I'm trying to intern here. I do video production in San Francisco. I know you guys are based there. Who should I talk to? And I literally just asked the right person. Like, that is a tactic that these days would never work anymore. Like, it just, I could not even recommend doing that. But I did at that point. Got me introduced to Eric Hart, sent an email. I started interning 3 months later. And that was then from there on. A lot of people kind of know what happened, but worked at IGN for years, eventually quit, started Kinda Funny, all that stuff. But even then, I do want to say one last bit, though, that was a key thing to this is I was trying to make YouTube videos myself before all this started, back in the MySpace days.
Yeah. We were all there.
I was pretty famous on MySpace, not going to lie.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That was my claim to fame back then.
No
I put out
way.
Dumbass white boy rap videos, comedy, Lonely Island type shit before Lonely Island was doing it, and nowhere near as good as they ever did.
On MySpace?
Oh, yeah, man. I was rocking it on MySpace. I would be putting out songs, dumb-ass songs. Like my friend Curran, I put out a song called Curran's Fat. It was just a diss track about him, but it got Cool Greg singing the chorus. It's the most offensive thing of all time, but it got like 60,000 downloads.
Whoa.
And it was just like, holy shit. I was like a 12-year-old kid. You know what I mean? And I just kept that going and kept that rocking. And I kept putting out stupid ass songs and like kind of just, that was my vibe.
In like 2005, maybe?
MySpace was
6.
MySpace, I would say, was 2002 to 2006.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay.
And I was in middle school and like high school during that time. So I was rocking it. I was like, I'm going to do this shit. And this was all I had. Like, literally my name on MySpace was Tim Gettys is pretty much famous on the internet. And that was my whole thing, is I'm just going to keep saying I'm famous on the internet until it happens. And then it eventually happened.
You were like the Tila Tequila of...
It was pre-Tila. I mean, that's not necessarily true. It was back when she was Tila Nguyen. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. Killing the game. But
okay, so I mean, first of all, I had no idea about this about you, which is amazing. I mean, The whole MySpace thing was such a flash in the pan. It does, because like I made a couple videos for Yahoo. Remember when like Yahoo was courted like a video platform? Everybody made a music video that kind of did a thing, and then when YouTube was the thing, we started the sketch comedy thing, and that was kind of the trajectory. But the fact that you were making and getting 60,000 downloads on MySpace is hilarious.
No, totally. I mean, so the last story that I think is extremely important to the Tim Gettys origin story that I want to tell you, Josh, because like you're gonna love it.
I'm writing the Tim Gettys origin story script here, because then you get bit by a spider, and then
and then here we are. No, so the MySpace thing all happened, and that was kind of just like nothing ever came from that. It was just kind of like all my friends were just like. It led it to the point that now when I see my friends from middle school or high school, they're just like, you fucking did it. Yeah. Like it's like they kind of just are like, oh, we totally see how this happened. Like no one's surprised that this is what I do. Right. I don't know how many people are impressed, but they're not surprised.
Yeah.
But it was my last year of high school, senior year. And for the talent show, I had seen this YouTube video. And man, this is so specific, but like there's a certain age group of people that are going to definitely know what I'm talking about. There was this time of Japanese videos that were going viral of these people that would wear like all black, like I'm blanking on the name right now, but like just suits that would cover their entire bodies in black. Okay. And then they would like act things out against a black backdrop. So it just looked like things were floating. The most iconic one was like a Matrix ping pong thing.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
And it's like the table tilted and stuff. And it's like, it's just tricking your mind, whatever. So we did one that was based on a Super Mario one that I saw. And I was like, I got all my friends together. We literally did arts and crafts to like make this whole thing. And we won our high school talent show. And people were losing their minds. Like it was a standing ovation. It was like the most like attention I had ever gotten for something I created. And I was just addicted, like off the bat. So stoked about it. I got a big check, got to hold it. It was just kind of like greatest moment of my life. And then graduate high school. That was that, right? I had this thing, gets put on YouTube. And the ironic thing is, I uploaded a version, but this goes back to Kevin being like, Tim, just go, just do it. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Just do it. I wanted to wait until I had all the different camera angles of the different people recording so I could edit it together, make it pretty, upload it the way I wanted to. So I didn't upload mine until like 6 months later, or like maybe a month later. I totally missed the boat. This other girl, my friend Denise, uploads this video that she just took in the crowd. Uploaded it to YouTube. 1 million views.
See?
1 million views without overthinking it, without doing anything. And this was 2007.
See?
So can you imagine being me, seeing this video pop up, just getting these views? I thought I was the king of the world. I could not be stopped. All right?
Dude, honestly, man, it's pretty effing legendary. Like that, it's awesome. It's awesome.
There's one more bit, though.
Go.
It led to nothing. It's like, cool. I get 1 million views. That's nothing, whatever. Sure. Month pass. I'm now in the summer in between high school and college. I'm asleep on the couch in my living room. It is probably 1 p.m. It's one of those summers where it's like, I don't got shit to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm enjoying this, whatever.
Right.
Phone rings. My dad comes over to me. He's like, hey, man, someone's calling you. I don't recognize him, whatever. And I was like, fuck this. Hours later, wake up, talk to him. Like he was like, oh hey, someone called. They left a message, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, who was it? Was it my friend Alfredo? Was it my friend Curran? No. It was someone named Adam. I was like, Adam? I don't know an Adam. He goes, Adam Sandler, and I was like, okay, what? And he goes, it was some guy from Comedy Central. Said his name was Adam Sandler. And my dad would not know who Adam Sandler is.
Yeah.
So he's just saying this like it's just a fact. And I was like, all right, so who's fucking with me? Like, I don't even get what's going on. They left a number. I end up calling this number back, going through this entire rigmarole of like phone call to phone call to phone call. What ended up happening was in 2007, Comedy Central decided to bring back a show called The Gong Show.
Oh yeah,
which was a comedy talent show game show that was on in the 70s or 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing it back for modern times on Comedy Central. And it was a show produced by Adam Sandler. And they had talent scouts look at videos of talent shows to get people on the show. And Adam Sandler personally saw my video and was like, I want this kid. So I ended up getting on the phone with Adam Sandler.
You talked to Adam Sandler on a phone.
Freaking out. Like, oh my God, this is my break. I'm famous. Fuck everybody. This is awesome. And the next month of my life was prepping to fly down to LA with a group of my friends to do this show on the Gong Show, to do the performance and whatever. And it's going to be awesome. Literally, the night before we fly, we get a cease and desist from Nintendo. They had Comedy Central called us. We're like, hey, we thought everything was going to be okay. They don't want us to do this. Sorry. And I was devastated.
Tim.
It was just it was like, oh my God, this is the worst thing of my entire life.
Is this video still online?
Oh yeah. I'm sure. Guarantee it.
Well, first, as soon as this is over.
Now, to be clear, and again, this is the perfectionist in me. The video that's up is a version of the encore that we did, because the crowd demanded an encore of us doing it again, and that's what got uploaded. But here's the key bit. The reason I told this entire story is that, it's the roller coaster of expectations and just getting denied. If I did not make that video, when I went to E3 and talked to the dude that I did and asked for an internship, he looked back and said, oh my God, I've seen this video. Because it got 1 million views. He's like, I remember when this went viral. And that's why I got hired. So in this giant, crazy turn of events, like me doing the hard work and just believing in my vision of what I'm doing got me the job at IGN. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here at all.
See, you make a really solid point in the sense of, okay, so friend puts up a video, it goes viral. I understand your need for perfection, because my buddy Paul, who we started the sketch company together, we worked on everything, was a total editing perfectionist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like a ton of times I was like, dude, we just got to release this video. Nobody's going to notice like a speck in the top right corner. We just need to release it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we started releasing these sketches when he wasn't like too super psyched about them. And I swear to God, man, the ones that he didn't love were the most successful. And the ones that he loved, nobody effing watched.
Yeah. No, man, it's a dangerous thing. And look, to be clear, I'm not saying the right way to do it is to not care and to just put everything up, because that's also not true.
It's just how the internet works sometimes.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's a crazy thing, and things are so different now than they were back then. Like everything has just changed and evolved. I left a link to the video in the chat if anybody wants to see it.
There you go. So basically, first of all, that story is effing amazing. I love that story. I keep thinking to myself of like, what was the impetus for me being like, I think I can do this, right? And I think it was like a combination of so many things getting to one point. But when I was in college, a professor told me, and I wasn't a theater major or anything like that. I was a business logistics major at Penn State. I'm clearly not using my major. I took this theater class that I wasn't really like supposed to get into, but he saw me doing karaoke one night at a bar at Penn State.
Of course.
And he was there like whatever. And he was like, hey, are you a theater major? I was like, no. He's like, well, the theater majors do this thing where they perform a rock song as that character. He's like, you've never done anything like that. And you were that guy. I think I was doing Christopher Cross, Ride Like the Wind, right?
Oh, I love you.
Great song. So he was like, hey, I teach this class. It's only for theater majors, but I think you'd have a lot of fun in it. We're doing a production, whatever. And so I did it, and he was the nicest guy. He was actually in Die Hard with a Vengeance, which I think was like a sign, right? This professor. The next time I'm around you, I'll show you the point in Die Hard with a Vengeance. He was a small character, but he was one of the FBI agents.
I love it.
Amazing dude. He worked in theater in New York for like 25 years. He came to Penn State to be a professor, and he was like the nicest guy to me ever, right? And he pulled me aside and he was like, hey, are you going to pursue this as a thing? And I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to be the next Alex Trebek. I want to go, I want to act, I want to perform, I want to be in front of a camera. And he's like, let me give you 2 pieces of advice. One, find a woman that loves you, and two, quit if you don't book something good every year, right?
Damn.
So each year that like I book something that moved me forward, right? Or somebody like me to move me forward, something is kind of the thing. And that goes back to you of like, okay, I want to do this. Let me see if I can create something that people love. Somebody loved it. Somebody saw it. Adam Sandler calls you, right?
Yeah.
And then boom, now here you are. Like it's a building of a platform of people believing in you. And people believing in you takes you to this Forbes list. Dude, when I saw that post and you were in Forbes, I was like, oh, this is the sickest Photoshop I've ever seen.
I love that. I love it. Hey, no, honestly, it feels that way. And like, look, like talking about the Forbes thing in particular, it's like, I feel like my entire story, even if you there's the off chance you don't know who I am and you don't know what's going on right now listening to this. And I only say that based on the fact of like knowing Macuga and me, and kind of funny at this point, we are one. We're our audience. There's no Venn diagram. It's a circle. We get it.
Look at Joey. Tim and I talk so much. How is this possible? She's never heard that story.
I don't know how that's possible. Joey's heard every story I tell starts back in middle school. So I don't know how she hasn't heard that one, but that's because I've had a friend group since middle school that I still rock with to this day that has supported me. So even when the Adam Sandler thing was such a high and it came crashing down when Nintendo crushed my dreams, as they often do, my friends were there for me. And I said this jokingly earlier, but like they look at it and all of them are like I was at my high school 10-year reunion a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago. Damn, I'm getting old. And like, it was awesome being with everybody because first off, I'm so proud of everyone at my high school. It was like, not like the movies at all where it's like, oh, didn't work out for them. And oh man, there's the one guy that had a turnaround. It's like, everyone kind of came up and turned out really well. Like it was very positive, very exciting to be around everyone. But I was stoked that everyone was kind of like, damn, like this is Tim Gettys that I knew when he was 16, but he's still doing it. Now he's just doing it in front of more people. And like, that made me feel super, super good and passionate about committing to trying my best to just, keep being me, being authentic to myself, even if sometimes that is a corny and cringy thing that a lot of people don't want.
No, I mean, dude, it's for me too. It's like, if being me didn't if people didn't like it, I would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the only thing I am. I'm just me. If nobody wanted to be around me and nobody was hiring me for things or nobody was seeing anything that I was like worth some, I would have gotten out this a long time ago and I would have just sold cars for my dad. Right. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of been like that. If you're just you and you can only be you, you find the circle, you find the niche, and you find your people. Like, I think that's like life in general, right?
Dude, it totally is. And like, it's funny because if I were to really look at my life and what brings me joy and what I want to do, like it's, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, I've always just liked supporting people. And it's like, I like getting chills. I like hype. I like this feeling of when you watch a well-crafted, curated trailer for a movie and the music cues hit at the right time to make you feel something. And I feel like you don't ever feel more than when you see someone win or like achieve an emotion themselves that you feel like you aren't capable of at that moment. Like all those corny videos, and corny's not even the right word. All those videos of like, people coming back.
Word, Tim.
Legendary. These legendary things of people coming back from the military and greeting their kids seeing both of them cry. Like it's that type of stuff that hits you, and you're not just crying because they're crying. It's like you can relate to that. It's this idea of relating to emotion. Yeah. And for me, I've always supported the underdog. I've always supported someone with a vision. And it's like to see people when they stand by their vision, and they're like, I'm gonna fucking do this. And like the catchphrase, let Tim host. I always say this. It's never been about me hosting things. I've been hosting shows now for years. Like it's about the idea of like, let this dude do the thing he wants to do. Like let this vision happen. Let it all go down. And that's why I love supporting people. I always have my entire life of seeing people that have a vision, have a dream, helping them accomplish it. Seeing the community and seeing people come forth and give me the platform I have now, and to now look at people like Blessing and Andy and just be like, these are the guys, man. And to push them and to see the reaction that they get, it's like, that's why I want to do this shit.
Supporting people feels amazing. One, it like I love. I just like again. I just want to be everybody's friend. To be honest with you, it's like that George Costanza line. Yes, I need everybody to like me. It's not that. It's just like I love. Like my favorite thing my entire life has been giving people gifts. Right. I've never been like, oh man, I can't wait to have my own gift. Like I love people's reaction when they see what gift I've given them. Sometimes it's not the best. Never been called like a good gift giver. I feel like I give good gifts. But that being said, like there is something so much like about building people up, giving people the confidence, telling people that they are good enough, because people don't hear that enough. They
totally.
Really,
my brother comes to mind when you say that. It's like, cool Greg, my brother, legitimately the best heart of any human being I've ever met. And it's like, he is so looked at the wrong way. And at the same, I have to be real on the other side of it. It's like, he deserves a lot of that. And but it's like, I think he gets more of that than he does getting looked at and complimented and rewarded for who he actually is.
Yeah.
And every time that I get to do that, it definitely is it's great. It makes me feel so happy that it's not just me doing it. It's not just a gift I'm giving him. It's everyone around him. And it's like, that's something that I've seen him kind of get a little bit more used to. He's still not comfortable with it. But he's been a lot more used to it over the last couple of years with Kinda Funny, of realizing there's a whole team around him that sees in him what I do.
Yeah. I mean, love is a strong emotion, man. I mean, we don't see enough of it. I think a lot of people are way quicker to hate on people than they are to accept and love and have an open discourse with certain things, especially with like the environment that we're in right now in this country, where you got to be on one side of a dime. I don't think that's right. I don't think that we need to be on one side. I think we need to come together.
Yeah. And it's hard. But
really. I want to ask you one thing before we go into a little game, and then we're going to do some rapid fire questions. But this has been an amazing conversation. Again, things that we don't get to do that often.
I love it, man.
What were your emotions when you found out about the Forbes situation?
Oh my God. The Forbes situation.
When you found out that you were going to be,
dude, I actually don't think I've ever really told this story on any podcast or anything like in full. I've definitely given details here and there, but like the Forbes thing didn't just happen. Like anything, you need to make things happen, and you need to like look into it and figure it all out. Like I applied 3 years in a row to get this thing.
Wow.
And it didn't happen until my last year when I was 29. And it happened, and I didn't expect it to. Like I really was kind of like, oh, that's it. And it's funny because the first year I applied, no, that's backwards. The first year I applied, I tried really hard. When I was 27, Gia, who's an amazing writer, and I really collaborated on the application process and getting the right nominations. I reached out to anybody that has ever co-signed for me to co-sign for me. And I'm lucky that my kind of Rolodex at this point is pretty cool. Like I have a lot of awesome people, and like to me at the end of the day, even though I didn't get it that year, so many people said that I deserved it. And I'm like, damn, Bernie Burns, the CEO or the founder of Rooster Teeth, he thinks I deserve this. Like, that's pretty fucking cool, you know? Cool. And a bunch of other people, Tim Schafer from Double Fine, and Harley Morenstein from Epic Mealtime, Freddie Wong, somebody I looked up to for years on YouTube. Like, all these people rocked for me, and like I was like, that's pretty damn inspiring to me. And kind of like something I'm like, oh, I've lived my life in a good way that they would stand up for me like that. But I didn't get it. And I didn't think I was going to, but I was really hurt that I didn't get it. And I didn't talk about that publicly, but Gia and I dealt with it together. And it was one of those things where we put a lot of work into it. Like I would say 2 months of iterations on things and getting everything right. And it didn't happen. Then the next year, when I was 28, I just kind of copy and pasted and put it. I was like, I'm not going through this again. Like, it's not worth it. It's fine. Whatever. They're not looking for what I have to offer. And then when I was 29, I was like, this is my last shot. I really got to go all in. And that was the year that I didn't ask a single person for help, like on the outside stuff that I did the first year. I was just like, this is just going to be me and G. We're going to write this shit. We're going to submit it. We're going to feel good about it. And we're just going to see what happens. And I might be blowing up someone's spot right now. So no one do any like in-depth research into what I'm about to say. Just keep it here. Be cool.
Okay.
But I'll never forget. I was at the Smash Brothers Ultimate final preview event. Nintendo flew me out to New York.
Boom.
And I got to play Smash Brothers. So stoked. I was there representing Kinda Funny. And a whole bunch of press was there. IGN, GameSpot, EC Allies, like 40 people, right? Everyone you would expect. Waypoint, Vice, all that stuff. And some dude came up to me and was like, hey, you're Tim Gettys. And that happens to me because it's Kinda Funny every once in a while. So I was like, oh, hey, like, what's up, man? Assuming he just is familiar with me because of Greg Miller, right?
Sure.
And he goes, hey, I'm whatever. I work at Forbes. And immediately I was like, oh my God. Like, holy shit. And he goes, hey, I'm actually pretty familiar with you. And I was like, oh, do you listen to the shows? He goes, no, I don't. And I was like, oh, okay. It's a weird conversation.
Not a fan.
Yeah, no, totally. He was just like, he's like, no, but and like he was being like kind of tongue in cheek. He's like, but I've been seeing you a lot recently. And I was like, huh. He's like, yeah, I mean, I'm one of the people in charge of the 30 under 30 thing. And we see all the nominations and we see everything. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, look, let me put it this way. It was like a Saturday at this point. He's like, on Tuesday, you should look at who gets announced. And I was like, oh, okay. And he just walked away. He was like, he kind of like, he didn't wink at me, but he like literally just kind of was just like, good meeting you, man. And like walked away. I immediately left the demo event, called Gia, and was like, holy shit, I think I fucking won. Oh my God. Like, I was losing my mind because it was just like the most insane thing in the world.
Yeah.
Here I am playing a new Super Smash Brothers game before it comes out in New York City, like on Nintendo's dime, the same company that fucked me out of being with Adam Sandler.
Full circle.
Dude. And it was insane. But even then, I still didn't know that I won. Like, it was hinted, but he was still pretty tight-lipped. And I think I'm even exaggerating how winky he was. Like, he was just kind of like, oh, hey, I'm familiar with you. Not like, oh, like, you're the guy. And so it was that Tuesday morning. It was 6 a.m. I couldn't sleep. And literally every single hour, I'd be like checking my phone. Like, did it go up early? It ended up going up early, like an hour and a half. And I will never forget immediately like pulling it. And the way that it works is like, it's 30. It's not alphabetical or whatever. It was just 30 things. And I'd have to slide through one by one.
Oh, no.
And in my mind, I'm counting down. Because I was like, 29, 28, 27. Like, these are my chances. And if it goes away, I'm not it. It's gone forever. And there I was, right in the middle of, I think I was like 17. And not that it's numbered, but like it was randomized on the app. And I popped up. And I just tapped Gia, and she woke up, and she's like, what happened? Did you do it? And I turned it to her, and she thought I didn't. Like, she was really just like giving me the energy of like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, you don't need this, whatever. And I don't. I get it. But I showed her the screen. We both burst into tears, like legit. Like, it was like, holy fuck, this is real. And like, look, so much of it is stupid, and so much of it is like, I mean, all of it's stupid. All of it's stupid. Yeah. That is the statement. Is Tim Gettys, Forbes 30 under 30. It's like, all right, guys.
Yeah,
sure. But real talk, it's like one of the most important things that ever happened in my life and to Kinda Funny, just in the sense of it legitimizing us. Like, Greg Miller was always the guy. Greg Miller had the Game Award. Greg Miller is Greg fucking Miller, the face of IGN. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, Kinda Funny has more. It's like Kinda Funny also has Forbes 30 under 30, Tim Gettys. It also has San Francisco award-winning documentary subject, Nick Scarpino. A documentary is made about Nick. It's like Kinda Funny really stepped up, and we've gotten so many amazing opportunities because of those things. And it's like, it's all because of our community. It's all because people actually give a shit about us that allow us to do all these crazy ass things. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It means so much more than what it seems like, and what it seems like to a lot of other people of like, wow, you got this thing. It's nowhere near that important.
I mean, dude, I got the chills thinking about it. I mean, it kind of goes back a little bit to what that professor told me as well, is find someone to love you, like a great woman to love you, right?
Oh my God, totally.
You hit the jackpot. I mean, Gia's an amazing human being. I don't understand the love of hot Cheetos. I can't eat flaming hot Cheetos. I
get it. That's you. That's a you thing.
I'm bad with spice.
Yeah.
I do like regular Cheetos. I mean, and her use of the chopsticks is legendary.
It's prominent.
But it must feel amazing to have an amazing woman, with you at all times that supports you. You support her. It's an amazing, I was so happy when you guys got engaged.
Yeah.
She was so on board with me coming to your roast last year, which was a blast.
On board. It's necessary, man. Yeah.
And we have all become close via, The Bachelor and The Bachelor.
I love it.
And all that kind of fun stuff. So we're going to play a quick game. Again, dude, congrats on all your success. Couldn't happen to a better human being, really and truly.
I appreciate that.
And I love all you guys up there. And again, it's so nice to make new friends, one, and make new lifelong friends.
Hell yeah.
Two. So this game we're calling Going Out on a Limb with Tim Gettys. See what I did there?
You're so good at this. We need to do Josh Brady again soon.
Real soon. Who knew that the effing pandemic would last this long? We needed to do a third Josh Brady.
I know. I love it though. It's good. It's good. People love it.
So you understand the term going out on a limb. Like, how far would you go out on a limb for something?
Yes.
Right?
Okay, cool.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, you're going out on a limb, like you're risking it all for this. Okay. After Fast 9, they say it's over. The franchise is done. How far out on a limb on a scale of 1 to 10? And explain yourself to why and justify a Fast and the Furious 10.
Oh my God. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going pretty far. I'm going real far. What we've seen in the trailer, which admittedly is simultaneously not much and everything, because it was a 4-minute trailer. I'm pretty sure that Fast 9 trailer broke records for longest trailer of all time. But I still don't think it showed everything.
Okay. It's not really a trailer. It's like half the movie.
Exactly. But I do think that it showed enough for us to understand that this can't be the end. There has to be more, specifically because Hobbs and Shaw aren't going to be in it. So it's like they need to come back together at some point in some way, somehow. And more than that,
right?
We have to get to Fast 10. We have to. Because we need Fast 10 your seatbelts. Because if we can't get that tagline, what the fuck was this all for?
As somebody who lives for puns, that's how you end it. So on a scale of 1 to Fast 10 your seatbelts, how far out on a limb are you going for the Fast and Furious franchise?
Oh, and here's the thing. If they're not even going that, if they're scared of that being maybe a little too crazy, even though with the titles of these movies, how could you possibly? I just want Fast 10 Furious. Keep it simple. So I'm going all the way to 10 on that limb.
Listen, there aren't many franchises that have made it to 10 movies. It's like James Bond. I don't know. Planet of the
MCU, No, not even Star Wars. Well,
Star Wars got 9. I mean, I guess technically, but really and truly, it's like porn movies and Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, no, it's great. Good
all
company.
Right. I give you go out on a limb. You say you're going to wear a bomber jacket to a wedding. How far are you going to fight Gia on the bomber jacket on the limb, scale of 1 to 10, to wear the bomber jacket to a wedding?
Now, look, it wouldn't be a fight. It would be a conversation. I would never fight further than she would push back.
Okay.
She'd support this to an extent. So the question is, how far would Gia go on the limb? Okay. Because I admittedly, I understand I have some bad takes on some things, and that I might take things a little too far, especially when it comes to wardrobe and the brightness of colors. Yeah. All right. Like those are all things that I'm like, I understand I need to be taken down a notch. So a bomber jacket at a wedding, I would never fight against necessarily, because it's like, there's some dope bomber jackets that look kind of clean and sleek and kind of could fit in. I think the bigger question is, am I going to wear a bomber jacket at my wedding? And the answer to that, I could say emphatically, is a yes.
At some point, you're going to have to make a costume change into a bomber jacket.
Oh, I mean,
and it's going to have to be custom.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
It's going to have to be a custom with like your wedding logo on it.
Oh my God. Of course. Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Of course. But yeah, so wearing a bomber jacket to someone else's wedding. I'm going to say I would push Gia pushing back. She'd probably get me at the out of 10. It'd probably be a 7.
I was going to say somewhere around a 6. So the fact that you said 7, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay. So you meet somebody that has never seen The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Which season do you go out on a limb for, and how far do you take it, scale of 1 to 10, to vouch for that season?
What a fantastic question. Not where I thought it was going to go. I thought you were going to have me pitch why they should watch the show. You're telling me a specific season.
Yeah.
So look, everyone loves their first. You know, you have these fond memories. So to me, Nick Viall's season was my first. And I would argue that that going through to Paradise, that cycle, because you got to look at them as cycles: Bachelor, Bachelorette, Paradise.
Yeah. Okay.
You need all three. It was a good cycle. But I do think that, and this is gonna be controversial.
Oh,
it's gonna be controversial, but I really think that Colton going into Hannah B, going into Paradise might be it. Specifically because Colton's season sucked.
It was terrible.
But it had some key cast members that like really brought the thunder, which meant Hannah B, my favorite season of Bachelorette of all time.
Yeah.
And that Paradise was bonkers insane when you added all of it together. So it's a bit more of like you got to get through a lot to get into it and for it to kind of like get good. But I would also argue that I don't know if I could stand by any Bachelor season I've seen. Bachelor season.
Yeah. Well,
this is awesome.
So we can put it over the thing. Let me see if I can get Amanda to come on camera real quick. Tell you a Hannah B story, because it happened right before quarantine started. Right before it.
Okay, I need to hear this.
Amanda, can you come in here real quick? Because it's pretty good, and it was a very funny marital fight for sure.
Oh my God.
Let me see. Hold on. Yeah.
What could that even mean, guys? I'm a little scared, but more so intrigued.
Yeah. Okay. So Amanda she doesn't seem psyched about being on camera right now, but we're gonna put her on.
He always wants me on when I look like I've just rolled out of bed.
She looks amazing, doesn't she?
Crazy, amazing. But okay, so what's the Hannah B story?
Okay, so here, quick. So
yeah, I want to know the side of the story.
No, but so here's the lead up to the story. Is I'm going out on a limb with Tim. Okay, so I said, if you were to introduce somebody to a season of Bachelor, Bachelorette, whatever, you go on a limb on this season to be the introduction of that season. And he said his favorite season of the Bachelorette of all time was Hannah B's season.
For sure.
Okay.
Hannah B's, oh man.
So we go to a baby shower in Malibu, Tim. Okay. I am pretty drunk when we get there. All the girls have been hanging out. All the guys had been drinking all day and then went to this baby shower. So I got on the deck. There's Hannah B. I'm like, well, got to talk to the beast. Okay. Got to talk to her.
And he was at that level of drunk where, like, even before he went to talk to her, I could tell. I'm like, he is going to zero in on Hannah Brown. And I already saw it being an issue before he even spoke to her. But I was like, I already knew, like, this is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to.
Oh my God.
Confront later. So, well, first you were like kind of lingering around her a little bit, and he
wasn't lingering, Tim.
I was coming in and out.
Oh, get out of here.
He was waiting for the right moment.
And then
she said something about her artwork, and I gave her a nice suggestion. She's like, "Oh my God, that's so good!" And I was like, "Boom, I'm in." Tim.
Hannah B has artwork.
Yeah, she's going to be be apparently.
No, she was talking about the art she bought.
Oh, she bought some art.
You weren't even listening.
You were drunk.
But
Tim, White Claws are a thing. We know.
I love it. It ain't no loss.
Kind of like waiting to see if he could hear her say anything he could relate to, and then he jumped in.
Yep.
Said something about her sorority, and Josh immediately was like, "Frat life, I know that." So Hannah, funny story. I was in a fret. And then they just like anything that he could relate to. Like, I think she even mentioned liking Starburst or something. And he was like, oh, Hannah, I love Starburst too.
No,
Pink
I said
ones.
everybody hates the yellow, everybody loves pink. And she's like, yes, that's right.
Yeah, everyone
like,
says that. It's not like you were the first person to say that.
You're so lame, Josh, but you're the best, and I love you for it.
So I was watching this whole thing go down, and I was like, 100%, he's just going to keep waiting and butting in to her conversations as he can like relate to things.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like in and out. And as he hears stuff, he's like, oh, really? Like butting in. Well, I don't really think much of it, but I walk away and start talking to other friends. And then sure enough, like 20 minutes later, he still didn't come inside. I'm like, what is he doing? So I look outside, and now it's just him and Hannah Brown talking, just the two of them. And I wish I could show you, but you couldn't see it in Zoom right now, or in the camera.
I mean, she's exaggerating here, Tim. She thinks that her legs are between my legs.
Their chairs were beside each other, but facing each other. So like her knees were almost between his knees.
That's not true.
And I was sober. And I don't think this poor girl was thinking anything of it. Like, I don't think Hannah.
I wasn't thinking anything of it. Tim, I'm married.
Yeah, happily.
No, but Hannah wasn't even thinking that he was like, I'm sure. Well,
I wasn't flirting. I was talking about frat stories. But my one buddy did say I should have come out and be like, can I steal her for a second?
Yes, but no.
Well,
I just start giving Josh the eye, like,
dude,
stop. Like, okay,
yeah.
this is enough now. You are now talking to her one-on-one, and it feels a little too close for me. And I know Josh, he has no bad intentions, but he's very complimentary, and he's very like, he kind of talks to people as if he's their therapist, and he like, he helps you open up a little bit. I mean, hello, he like interviews people for a living. So it makes sense that he would want to make people feel comfortable. But girls like Hannah, I shouldn't group her in, but like a girl who's single and vulnerable like her gets a little positive attention from a guy and immediately
handsome guy, Tim. Okay. A handsome guy.
There's a lot of things here. This guy might be,
look,
I'm not choosing the side
on me. Yep. So I can see that Hannah might get the wrong idea about Josh, even though his intentions are not that.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just try to give him the eye. And then I walk outside. He's like, hey, babe, this is Hannah Brown. And I was like, hi, nice to meet you. But it was so awkward. She could tell I was a little bit like, who is this bitch? Even though she knew.
Even though you knew very well.
Then the best is that Josh is looking at me like, babe, it's nothing. Like, what's wrong? When she's leaving, she apologizes to me, which means I know she felt uncomfortable.
No, she didn't.
That I thought, like, you could tell she knew she was flirting with my husband. So she was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, for what? Like, it's fine. I kind of played it off, but I was so annoyed with Josh because he was so drunk.
The whole ride home was, in our entire relationship, and we've been married for almost coming on 3 years, okay? Been dating for over 5. My wife has never yelled at me. She yelled at me in the car ride home. Yelled. And I was like,
oh my God.
And I didn't even yell because I thought he was being inappropriate. I yelled because he let himself get to that point of drunk where he didn't.
I'm very lovey-dovey when I'm drunk.
Yes, he doesn't know that sometimes his actions come off the wrong way. Like he doesn't realize that everyone around him is thinking he's behaving a certain way. Meanwhile, he's like, we're all good, right, guys? And everyone else is like, whoa, this is awkward. So I just was like, so annoyed. Poor Hannah was like, I'm really sorry. Like,
oh my God, that kills me.
My husband must have been flirting with her and felt bad. She probably was like, I just broke up this marriage for sure. Like, great.
Well, she didn't. That's all that matters.
See,
she didn't. She's out there, still single, still living her best life.
And look at Tim's shirt. Tim, stand up just briefly to put in the camera.
Okay, I saw
Amanda,
that.
Huge Britney fan.
That
huge.
is amazing.
OG Britney.
Also, have you been following, like, I'm going to get out of here, but have you been following the Free Britney thing?
I've been trying to stay out of it. as much as possible. I support it in its idea of free Britney, let her live her life. I hate all the shit being done to her, but also there's too many things going on right now that
really sad.
Yeah,
I'm like you. I don't really like paying too much attention to it, but I do feel sad for her.
definitely.
You know what? She's doing her lyrical dances.
I love it. Her Britney's Instagram fire.
I'm so here for it. I love it. She has no shame. She is just fully like authentically herself, and I love it. I love it.
Boom.
Okay, I'm going back.
Amanda,
good seeing you. Oh man,
there you go.
What a story! What a story, John.
He's like, when this whole story was happening, I swear to God, as it's all happening, I was like, I can't wait to tell Tim and Gia this story.
Oh
like,
my God,
it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good segue. You want to do some rapid fire questions and this
let's
whole
do
thing?
it. Rapid fire, baby.
All right, let's do. We'll put 30 minutes on the clock. No, 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. M&M's or Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC.
Go-to karaoke song?
I'm going back to the NSYNC question because I need this to be clarified. At the end of the day, I'm always going to be an NSYNC boy, but Backstreet Boys, being an adult, they had better songs. But NSYNC is the answer.
Dude, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, there's no wrong answer there.
There is no wrong answer. Yes.
All right, go-to karaoke song.
It's Embarrassingly Without Me by Eminem.
Do you pee in the pool?
Yes.
Do you pee in the shower?
Yes.
You ever tried dog food?
No.
Would you rather someone text or call?
Call.
Would you you ever been fired from a job?
No.
Metallica or Guns N' Roses?
Guns N' Roses.
When you wake up, what's the first thing you check on your phone?
Oh, these days Slack, which is the lamest answer.
Slack.
But then Twitter.
There you go. Most money you've ever spent on jeans?
$98.
There you go. I'm like
Levi's commuters, love them. They discontinued them, well, at least in my wash, but
no way.
Love them.
Like $78 is my
nowadays. Money. You should go to mugsy.com/kindafunny to get 20% off your first order of Mugsy jeans. Legitimately, the only jeans I wear.
Boom. Do you floss?
No. Should, but I don't. Like what? You're not my
Martini or Manhattan?
Sorry, what?
Martini or Manhattan?
Oh, Manhattan.
Manhattan. You ever been skydiving?
Yes. In Hawaii.
Whoa. Have you ever stayed friends with an ex?
Mm-hmm. All of them.
Oh. Anyone ever thrown you a surprise birthday party? Wait, I know the answer to this. Never mind.
Yes, you were part of it.
What poster did you have on your childhood bedroom wall?
Okay. You want the real answer to this, baby? It's crazy. So you know how there's The Kiss poster?
Yes.
Where it's the two women kissing?
Yeah.
So there was a version of that where it was two women kissing wearing Jordans. And obviously I had that. But that's not the best story that I have of posters of my childhood. When Charlie's Angels Full Throttle came out, for some reason, I was obsessed with Charlie's Angels. And me and my friends were just obsessed with the poster of the three girls with the butts with the two behind. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
So I bought one. And the poster person at Pier 39 in San Francisco was like, hey, you're the first person to buy this poster. And I was like, that's fucking crazy because this is the best movie of all time. It hasn't come out yet, but I'm sure it's going to be. Sure. And they're like, you're the first person. We need to get rid of stock. Do you want the rest of the posters? And I was like, why not? So I got it. My entire room, literally a full circle of Charlie's Angels Full Throttle posters of just but with the two.
My little niece loved the new Charlie's Angels, the Kristen Stewart. I was like, this is trash. Let me show you the originals. And she lived for them. I was like, yeah.
Really?
Dude, Full Throttle still a banger. That's a great movie. All right. Let's go quick. Favorite pizza place in the world?
Señores.
Are you a fan of strip clubs?
No. I'm going to say no as a overall.
Yeah.
Not against them, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
Here's a callback. Is your MySpace profile still active?
No.
Would you feel okay naked in public?
I'm going to say no in my old age.
When you lost your virginity, was it good?
Horrible. I had diarrhea.
You can. Okay, you can play any famous person in a biopic. Who would it be?
Ooh, fuck! I don't even know. That I can't even begin to.
Oh man, I was gonna say Timothy Busfield in Field of Dreams. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Yeah, I don't got an answer for that.
Can a guy with chest hair wear a deep V?
Yes.
Should Denzel have more Oscars?
Yes.
Babies or puppies?
Puppies.
Well, you got a little puppy now. The move.
Yeah.
Where do you get your news?
Twitter.
Yeah, me too. Beach or pool?
Depends. How many waves are there? If there's a lot of waves, the beach. I like roughhousing in the water.
Oh man, big wave guy. Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
All right, last three: Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Han Solo.
Ron Burgundy or Ron Burgundy or Ron Swanson?
Neither. I don't know enough to say either way.
Finally, you ever brought stinky food on an airplane?
God, the Nick Scarpino story. No. Nick, the biggest fan of plain meat, is what he calls it. Well, we're in Austin. He's like, I'm bringing on some plain meat. Or Gia, who brings on plain sushi. It's
See,
like, no, that's not something that goes on this plane.
Nope. Tim Gettys, you are a legend. An hour and 6 minutes. It's been a blast.
We could go forever. I love it.
We really could. We could. The more cocktails that flow, the longer it goes.
Exactly.
Congrats on everything, man. I love being your friend. I love seeing you guys succeed. I'm hoping when all this is over, we can finally get some more live Josh Birdies going. Maybe
gotta do it.
Build a little game show set and make it a regular occurrence somehow.
We're working on the new studio, man. Hopefully, once that's done, it'll be magic. But who the hell knows when that's going to be?
Exactly. I appreciate you being on the show, man. I'm going to let you off the broadcast, but don't go anywhere because I want to talk to you once we're not live.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think everybody appreciates you being out there. You guys can follow to find him on Kinda Funny. We're going to do a Josh Birdie again soon via the live stream. But until then, Tim, you're the best, dude. Love you, buddy.
You're the best.
That's it. Tim Gettys. You guys know him Kinda Funny. I know him as just my good buddy. And I thank you guys for watching. There's going to be a lot more Josh Macuga Show stuff, a lot more live streams. So tune into this channel. If you're not a subscriber and you came for Tim, subscribe. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I appreciate you guys being out there. Make sure you stay safe. Love each other. It's way easier to love than hate. And make sure you wear a mask and don't touch one another.